What's up, guys? Welcome to the first round of
PreGamePuff.
PreGamePuff, yes. So
another name that Will came up with because he is a wizard.
But this time I wasn't near the toilet. What did we call it?
The source of your power.
The toilet of knowledge.
The toilet of ideas or whatever.
I was actually at work and I was trying to come up with an idea of this because I wanted to do this because he and I both started getting really into cigars recently, and I just wanted to. Yeah. And so that's what's going on right now. Anyways, so this video I'm gonna try to introduce you guys to a few different things about cigars that I didn't know until I started kind of researching these things. First thing you want to do, so before
what do we bought? What do we got here?
So
Baccarat.
Baccarat. So that's actually a card game.
That would explain the cards.
Yep, there are cards on there. I don't know if you guys can see that at all. But it's actually a card game that was done in, it was made famous by James Bond, apparently. That's what I found out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like martinis shaken, not stirred?
Yes. This is just kind of one of their mild cigars. You can smell the tobacco leaf. It has a bit of a spice to it.
So wait, is the thing it's wrapped in a tobacco leaf?
Yeah, this is, if you look, that's actually, those are like the veins from the leaf.
No, I mean, I know it's leaf, but I didn't know it was a tobacco leaf.
Yes.
Okay.
This is entirely made out of tobacco, except for obviously the sleeve, which you can leave on or take off.
Yeah, it makes me feel more like a cartoon, doesn't it?
So the first thing you want to do is you want to kind of feel it and make sure there's no, like, you want to make sure it's kind of firm, but there's no pockets. There's no soft areas, so just give it a slight squeeze. Don't like suffocate it, obviously.
And if there is a pocket?
And if there is a pocket, it's just going to burn hot a lot faster in that area. Now, it's going to be softer towards the front.
Right, yeah, I got it.
Yeah. So it's just because it's less dense in that area, so it's going to burn faster there.
Is there a protocol if there's a hollow spot or whatever near the...
Do you have a hole in it?
No, I'm just saying like if there was.
So usually if that's the case, you want to take it back to your tobacconist. That's an actual term for the guy that sells
you're just
these.
making shit up now.
You want to feel for that, make sure there's no pockets, and then you want to give it a good smell. You can smell there's a bit of a spice to it. The cap is actually sweetened with this. You'll taste that later on, but you want to give it a good smell, and you'll smell that spice of the tobacco, and you can even smell the difference between the actual tobacco leaf or wrapping and the actual tobacco itself on the inside.
The tobacco itself doesn't appear to really have that much of a smell. But then again, I don't have the best sense of smell, so...
It matches your vision.
Yeah, because you can see.
Hey, I'm not colorblind.
I'm not colorblind either. I'm color deficient. Actually.
Next thing you want to do is you want to wet the cap. Okay. So you want to make sure you don't go past. You see where it kind of changes direction for the from the cap to the actual leaf. Right?
The point of
where the cap is. So you don't want to go too far. You don't want to go into the actual
cylinder. You want to cut part of the dome.
Right. But that just like blew up. It's not supposed to blow up like that. It might be a little bit dry. Then
are these? Where'd you get these?
I got these at Tinderbox.
Oh,
Tinderbox. It's another hobby I'm picking up.
You mean another addiction?
These aren't addicting. You're actually not supposed to.
Just let me have my joke.
Okay, I have a lot of addictions. Okay. Then you want to give it a dry draw. Okay. Yes, you're gonna get tobacco on your tongue, and it gives you like it's kind of priming your taste buds and getting you ready for the actual cigar. Right?
I don't remember having to warm up my taste buds for anything else.
Remember, this
in winter.
This is a science. And then you want to kind of char the end of your cigar.
But not puff on it?
But not
because I always puff when I...
Because what you're wanting to do is kind of blacken it, right?
Okay.
Okay. and so that you make sure that once you start puffing on it, okay, it's even.
That is what is pretty good, apparently. Then we put it. So everything I know about cigars I learned from Hellboy.
From Hellboy, yes.
You know what? Ron Perlman said, I saw it on his Instagram, that he actually worked cigars and smoking into each one of his characters so that he could smoke more.
Really?
Yeah.
And see, that's another thing. If it...
Whoops. Went a little overboard there.
If it starts to go unbalanced, just kind of give it a light burn. Okay? Yep.
Because I made it significantly worse.
That's better. That's better. And you always want to be rotating your cigar as you're smoking it, so you don't get those imbalances like that. What I'm tasting, it's kind of creamy. Okay? So what you want to do is, you don't want to just puff on it, obviously. You want to actually enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
So you were kind of priming, as I said, priming your taste buds before for the different flavors they're going to be coming up.
Right.
Right? If you can you taste that kind of nutty, creamy flavor? Not that kind of nut, and not that kind of cream.
No?
No? What are you tasting?
The sweet end and just tobacco.
I mean, the cap it's a sweetened cap for that reason. Yeah.
Right.
So each tobacco has different notes to it. And as we do these reviews, you'll start picking up on them more and more.
Define node?
Like small hints of different flavors. Each country has different flavors based on where it's grown at. I forget what country this is made in, to be quite honest. It just says the game.
The game?
The game on the
The name of the game.
Yeah.
I thought the game was written on there. I was like, that's a good Disturbed song, yeah.
As we smoke more and more cigars, you'll start picking up on some of the different flavors that come up. So I'm actually enjoying it. What about yourself?
It's pretty good.
Pretty good?
I still think nothing tops the one we had on my wedding night, but that may be more than...
I forget what I got you.
I know. It's so frustrating.
That is frustrating. It was an expensive stick too, because I bought 3 sticks for like $40.
Oh, that's less than I actually figured it was. I figured it was a $20 cigar.
Can you guess how much this is?
10? Well, no, that was basically 5?
$6 and I think 40 cents
each.
Yeah. The first third, or first half.
What, puffs versus games?
versus games.
Do we just use the Robot Rock scale?
You want to use that? I mean, this might, because this is more likely to start leading into Robot on the Rocks.
Yeah, it probably will be, since it's the PreGamePuff for Robot on the Rocks. We will use... Let's just use Puffs or Rocks. No, is that too many scales? Is that too many freaking scales? Because we got joysticks and rocks, and we got... I don't know.
What do you want to use? Well, he thinks. Another technique for smoking these, okay? Now, this is something that I learned. I've been really digging into the cigar community lately. But something that I've learned to get some different flavors, and I have noticed it does change the flavor of it, because you actually taste more with your nose, right?
Yeah, people hold their nose when they're going to take something like medicine. Or...
Mm-hmm. So what you do is you inhale, right? Or you don't inhale. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't inhale these.
You pull in some smoke, right? And you taste, and you let out most of the smoke, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you let the rest of the smoke come out of your nose. So, see if I can... I've only done it a handful of times. See if I can
There's
do
a
that.
booger at the bottom of my water.
Why is there a booger on the bottom?
Oh no, there's a booger in there.
That looks like a bug.
Oh yeah, you look like a TV character now.
Like a bull?
No, I meant like because
Oh.
the way people smoke onto television.
And you can taste different things when you do that. So, that's another little technique that I learned from the cigar commodity.
So, we're at the ashing point.
I mean, technically, you're supposed to let your ash fall off naturally.
Seems like a poor choice.
Not necessarily, because these can actually, when you get good cigars, like the cheap ones we've been smoking, you have to ash because they're not like good cigars.
No.
These are actually good cigars. But, so there's the ash is supposed to fall off naturally. But if you were to ash this, instead of trying to
tap it
or whatever, you want to kind of
it.
gently roll it. I'm not ashing mine. You can ash yours if you want. But you want to gently roll it across whatever your ashtray is, so that you're not, because there's aromas that still come through the tobacco that you can still taste even after it's ashed. But then on top of that, it's creating an insulating layer to keep your cigar. Yeah. What do you say?
We'll stick with rocks.
We'll stick
with
robots.
We'll stick with robots because I don't want 3 scales. I think that's pushing it. I'm gonna say 2. 2 robots.
2 robots?
Yeah.
About a 2.5. Yeah, it's actually really good. I like it. It's got some complexity. It's not very spicy.
Which
I'm
with
gonna have
me,
you
I probably wouldn't even notice.
Probably. We're going to enjoy this for a little while, and we're going to come back about mid-stick, and we're going to do mid-stick review. Mid-stick review. How are you liking it?
It's better now. I will say, however, it is terrible with Baja Blast. Do not mix these flavors. I got a sensation in my mouth that I imagine what like icy hot is on your dick.
That's why.
I don't know. I've heard stories. This is
actually
what I imagine.
That's a prank in football locker rooms. You put icy hot on someone's either jock strap or girdle or whatever.
This is why I did not play football, because of that kind of shit. Although it probably would have made me taller.
That's not how genetics work. Just let you know.
I was fucked from the beginning.
That's why I had you get water. Okay. With
well,
water.
I wanted to finish my Baja Blast.
Finish your Baja Blast when you're done with your cigar. Normally, actually, we'd probably be drinking this with an alcoholic beverage.
Yeah.
Because our pregame puff is gonna be before our Robot on the Rocks. But you know, we're doing this before our podcast, which you should check out on podcast, the Booze News Post, BEWSNOOZE Post.
Yes. Because we good at spelling.
God.
You know what I don't like? And I don't know if it's this cigar or cigars in general. Your suggestion was exhale most of it out your mouth and then part of it out your nose. Yep. I do not like the out your nose.
No?
No, not at all.
It's different.
It's
different,
it
but
hurts. Like, it's not a pleasant feeling.
You got a sensitive nose?
I mean, I smoke hookah and I blow out my nose.
Well, hookah is totally different.
I mean, I know I'm just saying, like...
Totally different.
That doesn't bother me. If that bothered me, that would be like an indicator of, yes, you got thick nose, but...
Are you tasting the change in flavor?
Yeah, I like it better now.
Yeah.
This is better.
So this is where most of the cigar is supposed to be enjoyed. So the first portion, all right, you're supposed to get some of the initial tastes, and then as you go through it, you're getting different tastes. And this portion, the middle portion, is actually what you're supposed to enjoy the most.
Now, hypothetically speaking, if you cut off the first part, would it be the same experience, or is part of the good part having dragged?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, because you're pulling all those flavors through the whole cigar.
And,
so
yeah, okay.
So you've got all these flavors from here being pulled back, and it just continues. Now the last half or the last third is usually the worst because you've got all that kind of packed in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What would you give it now?
This is definitely a 3 robots.
Yeah.
Definitely a 3 robots.
I'd give it. I mean, I like it, so I'm going from a 2.5 to a 3 myself.
For me personally, I don't recommend the out the nose thing though at all. I don't like that.
I taste something different when I do that. I'm able to get more of those nuttier flavors when I do that.
God damn it!
Not the Baja Blast. God no.
Oh, there's still a turd in this thing.
You want my water?
Yes, give me your friggin' water.
Three robots for me. 3 robots for Mike. Actually, really enjoyable. Again, this is the
Baccarat.
Baccarat. Yeah, I keep saying Baka.
Baka.
Baka. So, that concludes... just fart too?
Yeah, I farted that way.
God. We have combustible things in our hands.
I pointed the old dirt star away from us.
The old dirt star. Jesus. So, that will conclude our first round of...
PreGamePuff.
PreGamePuff. Jesus, I'm losing track.
He's good at coming up with names. He's not good at remembering.
I'm not good at
them.
words. And we hope to see you guys in the next Robot on the Rocks review, which is coming up. Maybe next. I don't know. Depends on where you are in the playlist or if you have it on shuffle.
Well, no, it will be next. The next Robot on the Rocks review will be the Legacy of Primal Part 2.
That should be fun. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Ah.